Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Tell Me About Your Dog, the show with one simple purpose, to hear all about your dogs and what makes them special. I'm Sam. I'm a CVT here in the sunny state of Florida, a pet insurance advocate, and a lover of all things senior pets. Please give a warm welcome to my next guest, Morgan, and thank you so much for coming on the show.
Anytime. Thanks for having me, Sam.
Of course. I love that dress on you, by the way.
Thank you.
Very blue and very pretty.
Amazon sale dress.
Ooh, I love Amazon dresses.
Oh.
Well, let's start with a little bit about you. Tell us about yourself.
Okay, that's not as fun as dogs, but I am Morgan. I work in sports marketing. I do social and digital media. I recently realized that February marks 8 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah, wild. I still feel like I'm college age, so the fact that I have been there for 8 years is wild. I ride horses in my spare time. I did that growing up. Still do that. Love that. What else about me? I love exploring and finding new coffee shops.
Yes.
Yeah.
Coffee,
Yeah.
horses, and sports. What more could you ask for?
Yeah,
So you got into sports media. Do you like sports? Is that what got you into it?
that is a great question, Sam. Yes and no. So I was a communication multimedia major in college and I loved that. I like the enthusiasm behind sports and the fans and just the passion. I love learning about what people are passionate about. And so I kind of fell into the sports world. It wasn't what I had planned to do, social and digital media wise. But once I started working it, I kind of just fell in love with it. And I've been there ever since.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Do you get to go to the Lightning games and walk around and see everybody and
Sometimes
look for the Bolts dog?
Sometimes I do more of the social and digital, so I don't do as many of the meetings in person, but occasionally I get to go and film and do stuff like that, which is fun. I will say going into working in sports, I didn't have a ride or die team that I loved. I grew up riding horses. That was my sport that I was passionate about. But as I've been working in sports and I've got to learn about all of these different sports, I have become a really big Lightning fan.
Yeah.
So glad that you brought up the Lightning.
We love our Tampa Bay Lightning here.
We do.
And our Bolts dog.
Yes, we do.
Well, speaking of dogs, that is the reason we are here. So, Morgan, please tell me about your dog.
So I had a dog named Copper. He was my pride and joy. I always talked about how he was just an angel that was sent to me. I got him when I was in 7th grade, and then he passed away last February. So when I was 29, which is wild. He was a mini poodle, and he was just the best dog.
He was there for pretty much your entire childhood to adult life.
Yeah, he saw me through the rough years of middle school, which nobody ever should have seen me through. He has been with me through college and post-college trying to figure out how to be adult. He was with me through losing my dad and my grandparents. He has just been by my side through everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what were those times like when you were going through something? Did Copper kind of shift his attention a little bit to you and have a little bit of an adjustment to meet your needs when you were feeling a little more anxious?
Yes. Yes and no. So he has always been a great emotional support dog. He has been able to read my emotions before I could read my emotions.
Aw.
And he has always been by my side, ready to cuddle, kind of just been there through it all for me. At the same time, I feel when it comes to anxiety, I also would give him anxiety. When I first got him, he was not a super anxious dog. He was fearful of things because he was abandoned when we adopted him. But he wasn't he could go through the day and be fine. And then as he lived with me for more than a decade, when I would get anxious, he would get anxious unless I needed to be comforted. When he would go to the vet, when he had cancer, I had the vet tell me afterwards that maybe he should stay with my grandma for a few days because I tended to stress him out because I would just be oh my gosh, Copper, are you okay? Oh my gosh, all the time. And he was I just need to rest, girl, please. But he was really good at being there for me and my anxiety and was always just right there ready to cuddle, followed me around the house. But yeah.
Aw. There's actually really something really special about having a dog from your childhood that's going into adulthood. You kind of have a dog that's by your side growing up with you. I had a childhood dog named Sarah who was also a poodle, and she was my little best friend throughout middle school and high school, and she passed away while I was in college. What was it like having Copper as a kid going through middle school and high school?
Oh, he was my best friend. I was such an outdoor child, and he would go for walks with me. We did agility because I jumped horses, so naturally I was I have to teach my dog how to jump like a horse because, he would go to the barn. He and my horse were like best friends. Like I would like he would explore and run around the barn while I would ride, and then like he and my horse would like hang out while I was cooling her down. So he literally went everywhere with me. Like I said, he was like an emotional support dog before I knew that's what they were. But he was my best friend. I would go everywhere with him. We moved around some when I was in middle school, and so there was a couple times that he was my only friend. Because even though I love making friends when you move around a lot as like a middle schooler, like you're super awkward, and sometimes like people don't want to be friends with the new kids. So there were times that he was literally my only friend. So yeah.
Aw. Did having Copper become part of the conversation when you're trying to make friends? It's like, oh, I have a dog.
100%. If somebody was like, they wouldn't even have to be talking to me. They could just mention they have a dog. And I was like, I have a dog. His name's Copper. Let me show you all his photos. Like that. Yeah, that was
Instantly
big.
pull out the photo album.
Yes, be like, nobody asked. Here you go. You're gonna see them anyway. Yeah,
That's my favorite too. When you're asking someone about their dog, it's like I don't really care about what's else is going on, but please show me a picture of your dog right now.
Yes.
That's the only thing I care about at the moment.
I have a whole album of him, and then I have an album of him wearing outfits, and I have an album of him here. Here you go.
And he's like, why is this lady taking pictures of me everywhere I go?
I wonder why he has anxiety.
I think Copper needed an emotional support dog.
Yeah, he did. Well, he had my grandma's dog, Molly. So when I was in college, he lived with my grandma just because, like, my sister and my mom also had dogs. And so it just made more sense that it was a little bit quieter. He was getting a little older. So while I went off to college, he stayed there. And she had a dog named Molly. And that was his emotional support dog. And Molly loved Copper because Molly was, like, not a puppy, but she was also still old enough to, like, want to have, like, a best friend. And she was a single child from my grandparents. So, like, Copper and Molly were best friends. And, like, when Copper got older, we used to call like Molly his nurse because like when I go see my grandma, if like Copper got stuck somewhere or something happened, she'd come and alert us. Like she always let us know that like, oh hey, he like fell or like he tripped or something like that. Like she was his little emotional support dog.
Copper and Molly.
I know. Best friends.
They were best friends.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about when Copper got older. You said he developed cancer at one point. What was that like? How did you discover that?
So honestly, it was kind of a God thing. So the week before we found out he had cancer, I had gone for his like just yearly checkup of like blood work and shots and that kind of stuff. And he got a really good report. Like I think he had lost a little bit of weight, but nothing concerning, just like dogs getting older kind of thing. And then not even a full week later, he just had an upset stomach one day. And I was always that like dog mom that was like, oh my gosh, he stubbed his toe. We need to go to the ER. And so I was like, he has an upset stomach. I'm taking him to the doctor. And like they didn't have an appointment, but like they still let me bring him and like they like drop him off. We'll look at him and like call you if there's anything. So I did, and I went back to work, and I remember my boss asking me like, "Hey, is everything okay with Copper?" And I was like just sobbing because I was like, I like knew inside. I was like, something's wrong, and I don't know what it is, and I know he's just like a little bit like nauseous, but like something's wrong. I can feel it. And I got a call like an hour later from my vet who told me they found like a little mass inside his booty, and they were like they took it, they sent it off for kind of just like what is it called when
pathology?
Yes, they sent it off for that, and that I would know in a week, like kind of more. And we found out at that point that it was a type of cancer that is very aggressive. The good news was that we caught it very early. Like it literally wasn't fully formed. They didn't even notice it a week ago. So it was still very early, and they were able to operate, which I think was less than like 1% of dogs can have the operation. They normally do chemo with that type because unless you find it by a certain point, it's just hard to operate on. And so they were able to operate on him, which was good because he was 14 at the time. And my oncologist, she was incredible. She was at Blue Pearl in Tampa and absolutely incredible, but she was like, I don't recommend like oncology for him at his age just because it's not fair to him, which I respected so much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to do what's best for him, and like that's so hard on the dog. So they were able to do surgery, and surgery went really, really well. They had said that normally with this type of cancer, it's like 1.5 years before it comes back, and if we're not doing chemo, it might be before then, but he was 14, so they're like 1.5 years is probably what he's gonna have anyway. So I think it was like 3 months, he had to go back for like all of the like just checkups and exams at the oncologist.
Make sure he was still cancer free.
Yes. He never got cancer back, and he lived for another like almost 4 years.
Oh,
yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, he was incredible. Let me tell you, he was so good.
Do you have any favorite stories of Copper?
I don't even know where to begin with that one. I he was with me through so many things in my life, from losing my dad to struggling to make friends in middle school to moving and figuring out adult world. But then like I always go back to just like the sassy little dog that he was. Just like when I lived with Haley, every time we left for work, he would dump the trash can over. He never went through it. He never would eat anything. He just would dump it. And when we walked in, he would like sit by it and like stare you down like, you left me. Now you have to clean up this mess because I was a mess when you left me. Just let us know that he didn't like it. Or he always used to like, I know it's a retriever thing, but he always had to like hold something when you walked in the door and his whole body would shake. And there was one time that somebody was over and they were having a meal and I walked in and he picked up the knife off of their plate and like just walked up to me and I was like, Copper, you can't pick up a knife. And the person was like freaking out. I was like, I don't even know how to handle this.
Your dog's walking around with a weapon in his mouth.
And he was like, why did you get home so late? Like, I don't understand. Or he used to, when he got older and like walking, like he could still walk, but like he just wasn't as fast. He would like, I'd come home and when I would turn on the Roomba every day when I got home, because like I'm allergic to the world, he would just like stand on it and ride it around the house. Like I have a video of him just like riding the Roomba around the house. So just like little things like that are like just some of my favorite memories because I think they just like speak so much to who he was as a dog and his personality and his character. Oh, one more. When I lived with your cousin Haley, she turned off. He could like recognize TV characters. Like he literally loved watching TV. I've heard it's a poodle thing. I don't know if that's true or not. But he loves the movie Shrek. Like loves it.
Who doesn't love Shrek?
Yeah, he has great taste. And Haley turned off the TV one time when he was watching Shrek because I'd always leave the TV on when I left for work, and like he wouldn't let her touch him for like a week after that. Like he wouldn't go near her. He was angry. And to this day, Haley was like, anytime you have a dog, I will never turn the TV off. Like it's not worth it.
He held a grudge.
He did. He held a grudge. He was like, don't touch me, you peasant. You turned off Shrek.
Did you see Shrek is on?
Yeah.
It is my time, human.
This is my show. Yeah.
Oh, well, would you get another poodle again? Is that in your future dog breeds list?
Yes, it is. I have fallen in love with poodles. I got him at the SPCA, so it kind of just like was by chance. And like I definitely can say that poodles are my favorite breed. Like I just love how loyal they are and like loving and just like they're the best dog. So I definitely would get another poodle. I don't see myself getting another dog anytime soon. I think that he was like, I've always heard that like pet owners have like that one dog that's like their dog, and I definitely know that that was Copper for me. So like I want to make sure that when I do get a new dog, like I am in the correct headspace for it, because I want to be able to love it and care for it, but I also know it'll be so different. So I do plan on getting a dog again, just not anytime in the near future.
Yeah, we still have so much of Copper's memory around
you. I do. He's the best.
Well, I know the losing Copper process was very hard and came with a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
What were some things that you did to help with the grieving process and keep his memory alive too?
Yes, that's a really great question. So the day that we put him down, me and Emily went to the causeway because like we used to take Copper to the causeway all the time to watch sunset and to like go on walks. So we went to go watch the sun rise that morning, and then we went to stop to get Chick-fil-A on the way because he loved chicken, and he loved Chick-fil-A. So we did that. So that kind of made the day feel like we were doing the morning for him. Like we wanted him to have a great first morning full of things that we had memories in, things that he loved. So that made the process a little bit easier. Not that it's ever easy. And then I did a paw print in the little like plaster for him. So I have that hanging up, and I have his old like dog bowls as well that hangs up, kind of just like as a memory of him. And then I just think it's in the way too that like every single person I know in my life like has come in encounter with Copper. Oh, I knew the tears were gonna come. And so it's just like in the stories they tell and like the memories that we share. Like he was literally a part of every single part of my life, and every person in my life knows him. So it's like I was home this weekend with my family, and like there were numerous times we'd be doing something and they'd be like, "Do you remember this about Copper?" Like, "Do you remember when he did this at this place?" And it's just been really cool. Like it's made the grieving process easier knowing like that he's touched so many people's life and that like we can have those conversations and like keep his memories alive.
Of course.
Yeah.
That almost makes the grieving process a happy because you're celebrating his life. You're celebrating all those great memories. I have one memory with him when you two lived in the house in Oldsmar.
Yes.
When I walked in, I had not seen the place yet. Haley said, there's a good chance there might be a copper turd somewhere around here.
Yes.
And sure enough, right next to the trash can
it's the trash can
pile of copper poo. And he sat right next to it, so proud of it. So look, the trash can is down and my poop is here.
Yes. The very first year I graduated college and I like lived with a roommate, it was almost like he had to assert dominance. That just because like I was living with someone else that like he was known. And like that year we had so many instances of that where you like walk around the corner and be like, why? Like, why did you do that, Copper? Why did you have to poop there? Like, I don't understand.
Strictly to prove a point.
Yes, just to prove a point that like he was here and this is his house. And like once we got past that first year, he got better. But yeah, that first year was rough between trash can turning over and pooping. Like he was a sassy little man.
He was, but he knew what he wanted and when he wanted and how he wanted it. And if it didn't go his way, he made it known that he was not happy about it.
Yes, it was his world, and we were just lucky to be a part of it.
We were. Yeah. We were very lucky to be a part of his world.
Yes.
And I love that your family still shares all the memories of it because, like I said, it makes it fun to talk about those times instead of sometimes it can be really hard to talk about someone or a dog who's passed away.
Yeah.
Because it brings back pain, but with you, it brings back a lot of happy memories and a lot of fun stories and a lot of smiles and laughs of like, oh my gosh, remember when he did this? Remember when he did that? It makes that pain a little bit less.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy that you guys have so many memories together.
Thanks, Sam.
He sounds like he was a great dog for you growing up.
He was the best. He was by my side through it all, ready to cuddle, ready to just whatever I needed, which a lot of time was just like to lay there and process it and just like not be alone.
That's all we ask for with dogs.
Yeah.
We don't ask for much. No. They give us so much in return, though.
They really do. Yeah, they really do.
All right. Well, Morgan, thank you so much for coming on and sharing Copper's story.
Anytime.
I know he is missed a lot, but you guys have a lot of stories and a lot of memory that stays alive.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me and giving me a place just to like talk about him and how great he was.
He was great. Poodles are great. I will vouch for that every day, that poodles are great dogs.
Yes.
Well, that is all for this episode of Tell Me About Your Dog. Please be sure to follow the show on Spotify and YouTube and follow Tell Me About Your Dog podcast on Instagram, where I would love to hear your dog stories and any topics you'd like to hear more about.